Hello, it's Corin here from Bite Sized English, and it's been a while since I've done some videos simply because I've been in Aussie for 3 weeks of family-free refreshment, and I feel fantastic. Yes, and while I was there, me being a Nordic walking girl as I am, I couldn't resist walking on the beach nearly every day that I was there, and it was just so good for the soul, with the sound of the seagulls in the background and the waves that were coming up against the shore. And I just had to share this with you because it was just so amazing. I lost a little bit of weight. I just felt more in touch with who I am, and I had a few brilliant ideas as I was walking. I always have to record my ideas quickly on my phone. Um, and I just thought I'd tell you why it's a really good idea, no matter what your business is, to incorporate walking, or even better, Nordic walking, into your daily or weekly routine. Okay, so first of all, in terms of fitness, um, if we're not fit, we cannot run our business. Now, we tend to think, well, I'd have to be really ill not to run my business. And there is an element of that. But, none of us are getting any younger. And it really does help, to be on top of that and keep yourself as fit as possible. First of all, you'll be able to concentrate more, and secondly, you'll be able to keep that stress at bay just that little bit easier. So in terms of fitness, walking versus Nordic walking, I mean, you can walk, but what I find is if I just walk, I kind of just meander along. And when I've got those walking poles in my hand, I'm like, so I really kind of hit another speed level and a bit more commitment. When I've got these poles in my hand, I feel that I'm there to do sport and not just to take in the scenery. And it just gets me walking that little bit faster. And because you're using the upper body as well as the lower body, it means that it's a better workout for you. So there is another CD all about, the benefits. So I won't go into it in too much detail now. But basically, if you're a little bit overweight, you are an increased risk for cancer and lots of other illnesses like, heart problems and things like that. So, take control of your life. Your business isn't your life. Your family have lots of your attention, and maybe it's time to think about you. You want to. And you know what? As the kids get older, they quite enjoy to have a little bit more time to themselves and things. So take advantage of that and start doing more things for you. Okay, so in terms of losing weight, it's really not rocket science. We all know the theory. But the theory is more activity, less eating. Right? So it's not rocket science, but if we just watch what we're eating a little bit more and think, do I really need that dime here? Where have I just put them? I've just hidden my secret stash of chocolate. Let me just show you. I've had to put them out of reach. Look, dimes. Oh, I love them. Oh. So we've all got our weaknesses, and I'm no different. But I'm really trying to watch what I eat at the moment, and I feel so much better for it. So yeah. So, keep on top of your fitness, and, you will notice a difference. You'll feel firmer, you'll feel more in control. And, I, for one, am definitely going to keep up the amount of sport that I was doing. I was actually not just doing Nordic walking, I was doing like 4 hours of sport a day. I was like on a bit of a... Anyway, so the second reason you should be incorporating walking into your daily or weekly routine, it's emotional. It's time for you. Time to reflect, maybe. Time to think about nothing. Some people walk and meditate at the same time because walking's not difficult, right? You can walk and meditate at the same time. You don't have to be doing the hum. You can just walk and just keep an eye on your steps and just let your mind completely empty of anything that's kind of running around in there. And The nature feeds your soul, I tell you. It really does make a huge difference. When I sit down with somebody at a table, and well, I don't do this anymore, but I used to sit down with people in a meeting room or in their homes, and we'd drink coffee and eat cake, and we'd sit there and consume and not move at all. And then I noticed that these people really found it hard to remember the words. And they put it down to being old, being distracted. You know, there's always all manner of things. But the bottom line is, to my mind, is that activity stimulates the brain. And there's lots of research to support me in this. But the research didn't really convince me, to be honest, until I really started taking my clients outside, giving them a pair of Nordic walking poles and going for it and walking. And the fact that we're walking, you know, like this, I'm not constantly looking at them, you know. I'm looking at the path ahead of me. I might be looking at the birds. I might be, you know, listening to the traffic, making sure we're not in the way of dogs or whatever. So there isn't this intense eye contact that you have at a coffee table or at a meeting room table. So in terms of emotional, you know, this is really for you, and the nature really feeds your soul. Just being outdoors, away from electronics, you know, ideally if you can leave your phone on stumm or quiet, that's even better. And basically this banishes the stress that we all have to some degree or another. And it gives you space to think. Sometimes I come back with amazing ideas, and sometimes I think about all kind of wonderful things. I'm a Piscean, and we're supposed to be quite dreamy, and I don't think I'm very dreamy in the normal kind of run-of-the-mill kind of things, but when I'm walking sometimes I go into kind of girly mode, you know. So yeah, so that's the first thing. So first of all, fitness. Secondly, emotional. The third thing, for inspiration. You know, sometimes you need to take a step back, a new, you know, new scenery, something completely different, and you'll get ideas. You'll be able to evaluate what you are doing. You'll be able to think about, well, what is it about that worked well? What didn't work so well? You've got no distractions. You can just really focus on what it is in your business that is not going quite as well as you'd like to, or maybe something went really well and you don't really know why. You know, you'd like to work out what it is so that you could do it again. Okay, so what if I did this? What if I did that? If you get ideas and you can just play with them in your mind, and you know, you can have like a self-discussion about, oh, if I did this and I did this and I tried this advertising approach and I did this, then you can kind of run it past yourself as you're walking. And because you're walking, you've got left-right body movement, you've got the middle line is being activated, you've got fresh air. So the ideas will definitely come. And if you join a group, we do groups of Nordic walking, then you can exchange ideas and say, look, you know, I've been thinking about this idea. I don't really know, you know, what do you think? You know, and you can run it past people and they might say, hey, you know what, I once did something like that. And what I used is Twitter. It was really good. Or have you tried doing these live sessions on Facebook or whatever? So people have lots and lots of good ideas, really good marketing ideas, but also business ideas, you know, where to go to for a VA, what resources to go to, and things like that. So walking with other business women, I find, is a really enjoyable way to spend my time, because most of my friends aren't in their own business. They either go to work and come home, and life's, you know, life's all fine and dandy because they're home and got to worry about the kids, and they just don't get me, that I'm always like, oh, what about this, and I got an idea, and you know. And so having business female friends for me is really, really important. And if you could walk maybe once or twice a week with other business women, that would be kind of cool, right? You'd be working on your English, you'd be doing something for your sport, and you'd be networking all at the same time. No brainer, right? So it's not rocket science, but it works really, really well. So when you're brainstorming with other people, you get much more value than if you were just brainstorming on your own. So you can capture them in a voice message like I do. I've got an iPhone, but every phone's got like a voice capturing message on there. And then you don't have to stop and write down or anything. You can just record it. It's much faster. You can record it in English or German or your language. And it doesn't have to be in the fancy marketing. Just zap it. Just say it, you know, in there. And then the thing is to remember to go back to that voice message when you get back. So the fourth thing is financial. Okay, so if you were to be unable to run your business anymore, it might be that you have a Berufsunfähigkeit, you know, insurance, like so that if you can't work, you get paid. I used to have one of those and I cancelled mine. Silly decision. But I just thought I'd never be ill. Yeah, I'm always healthy. You know, I never go to the doctor. I never even know who to say is our house arts, you know, or our GP. I just never really have one. So keeping fit is the financially safest option, really. And it's a lot cheaper than joining a gym or going to regular yoga classes. You know, Nordic walking is free, you know. And if you want to join us on a group, it's not going to cost you the world, is it? You know, it's very doable. So that's the fourth thing, financial. The fifth thing is networking. And you know, when you get to meet new people, you get to know them, you get to like them, and then when they get to trust you, then they will either recommend you, or they might even work with you, or they, you know, then that's when networking becomes really, really valuable. When they understand your business, they understand your approach, they've got a flavour of how you work, how you tick, and that's who we want to work with, you know, people that we've got to know. And when you're walking, you know, you can't be walking and doing a sales pitch at the same time. It's very kind of soft marketing, if you like. And it's relaxed, you know, there's no need to rush or brag or any of that stuff. You can just let your story unfold, you know, a little bit here, and we talk about something else, and you can tell them, oh, that's interesting. I once had a client and we did da 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 da. Or, oh, you know, one of my best practices I found, you know, with invoices, you know, tips and tricks and things like that. That's what networking is all about. It's not about going, I do this and yeah, I'm great. You know, it's not like that. You know, it's networking is about exchanging information. And actually, you should always be thinking, what can I do for this person here? Who do I know that will help them? Who do I know that might be interested in their services or might have the software solution that they're looking for? So if you're always looking out for other people, then it's not marketing anymore. You're helping them and you're not helping yourself. So inadvertently, of course, the more you help other people, people want to help you. I mean, that's the same in regular life and in business life too. So basically, those are the 5 things. There's fitness, emotional reasons, inspiration, financial reasons, and networking. And you know, Nordic walking is a really easy thing. It doesn't matter how unfit you are. The first time I went with my first client that introduced this to me, I was almost dead when I got back. But you know, I won't do that to you. I go a bit more steady with you to start with until we're all on the same fitness level. And then I will push you a bit harder. So it's very tempting when we're speaking English to kind of get slower and slower as you're trying to look for the words. But then I kind of, you know, say, come on girls, you know, let's keep going, and I'll keep you on track so that it's a sport workout as well as a language workout. So yeah, that's my little blog for today on oh, it's a vlog, isn't it? A video and a blog. Let's call it a vlog. Anyway, take care, and if you want to join us for a language energy session, which is walking and English at the same time, and you get feedback via your phone or via the Facebook group, depending on what you've signed up for. You'll get lots of help with vocabulary, grammar, pronunciation, and lots of other fun stuff too. It isn't actually just language training. There's a lot of communication and cultural training in there as well. So take care. I'll speak to you very soon. And if you're interested, just give me a call.